Okay, I want to ask you this. You could talk about this all day. Clearly, you've been studying this for years. A lot of people have been studying this for their entire lives. Then you ask the Niners; they're football people. They're not scientists. And then John Lynch is like, "Oh, there's no research." And Jed York complete. Why are so many people so dismissive of this entirely?
I think it's honestly a long-term programming issue whereby I think it's also a bit of an appeal to authority thing where the assumption is if this technology and all this stuff is rolled out, it's assumed that it must be safe because our government cares about us so much and cares about our health so much. Meanwhile, if you look at
That's
the
how
proof,
capitalism works.
that's right. It's the crony capitalism. And if you look
Yeah,
at the proof of work for this, like, okay, if our government cares about us so much and our healthcare system is so wonderful, why are we the sickest we've ever been as a population? Why is our lifespan decreasing for the first time in modern history? Why are our birth rates and fertility rates at an all time low? Like, clearly, our perspective and what we're doing is highly dysfunctional. And so, if that's the case, which it is, that means that we need to start questioning everything we assumed to be true. And unfortunately, a lot of times in positions of power, there is this resistance to admitting that one is wrong. There is a resistance to new information if it is somewhat of an inconvenience financially or otherwise. And I think that's really the dynamics that we're seeing at play right now. But I mean, from in my opinion, they should have really headed this off by just being open about it because then they don't have to look like idiots down the line when, if we were able to show like, yeah, this actually was a major contributor and we moved the practice field and now suddenly we're a much healthier team. They're gonna look like fools. And obviously it's never too late to tell the truth and just be like honest about where we stand and like where they are intellectually and research wise around these issues. But I think it pays to be open and honest from the start and not like double down and be super rigid around topics that they frankly have no understanding of. They're not equipped to analyze research or understand the quality of research and understand the breadth of the research that is present in the literature over the last 70 plus years. Like, I don't think they're doing their due diligence to actually look into those things. They're probably deferring to quote unquote experts who also haven't looked into it and are just conditioned to say, oh, this is nonsense. So,
I mean,
you get to cherry pick your experts, basically.
what I think, like when you have absolutely no knowledge of something and you're instantly dismissive, it makes me wonder, like your motivation. Do you have a conflict of interest? Is it possible that the 49ers knew this was a potential issue, didn't do anything, and if they acknowledge it now, then they open themselves up to like unfathomable lawsuits? I mean, that's what I wonder. Otherwise, why wouldn't they say, you know what, we're moving our practice facility just in case, just in case?
That's true. And I mean, from what I've seen, there were some player interviews floating around showing that, oh yeah, there's been like talk for a while now that like this substation's here and like there was like cancer was brought up and other
20
issues and
years
like
ago.
yeah. So it's like this is not new. And clearly there's been chatter going on around it. And the fact that it's coming to light now, I mean, it's kind of a shame it took so long, but I'm glad that we're having the conversation at the very least and making people at least ask the question, like, could this be an issue? How can I support myself? Even if this field doesn't move, like, how can I best support myself? Because, if nothing is done, it seems very clear that this organization doesn't care to really take care of their players and just is more worried about the bottom line, frankly. So I'm hoping that some, like we said, our unbiased research studies move the field, see what happens. It's not that hard. Like, that's actually a very low cost intervention and test to do. And I don't really see any reason that it would hurt. It could only help. And so that's kind of my perspective on that issue.